Hey guys, and welcome back to another flashlight review. Today we're going to be looking at the Astrolux WL01, and this is the first work light, dedicated work light that I have reviewed on this channel. It's a very versatile light, and I'll show you all the different functions in a moment, but basically it comes with a 9,000 milliamp hour battery. It's also got 3 different LED colors in it as well, so 3 different tints. And I do find that most work lights out there, the ones anyway that are just at my local hardware store, have a single color. Usually it's a cool white color, and you can adjust it from low to high if you're lucky. But yeah, really cool that this one's got, red LEDs, got warm as well as white LEDs. I'll go through that in a bit more detail later. But what do you get in the box? So apart from the light itself, this is the box that it comes in. And yeah, you can pause the video and have a read of some of these specifications if you want. It's a very simple sort of box, 1200 lumens. It's also got an instruction manual, comes with an instruction manual, plus you get a USB-C charging cable, which is pretty standard with most lights. Alrighty, so I don't have any other work lights out there, any dedicated work lights anyway, so I just picked a couple of flashlights off my shelf, and this is the AceBeam Terminator M2, and I've also got the Nitecore P23i, just for size comparison. As you can see, it is a lot larger and heavier than your usual flashlight. It is a work light. It's got a larger battery as well, two 21700 cells. All right, so a little close-up of the WL01. And it doesn't say what kind of plastic this is made out of, but it does appear to me to be made out of ABS, maybe polycarbonate. Surprisingly, feels quite sturdy and strong. I also like the design. This nice accenting around the LEDs. And yeah, it doesn't look cheap, especially for what you pay for. It's 380 grams, so yeah, it's definitely not super light, but still manageable, especially if you're carrying it around your backpack. And the interesting thing as well is that you can rotate the light 180 degrees. So there's actually a bunch of magnets here on the handle. So normally you'd attach it to something, some kind of metal bar or whatever, and you'd be able to just rotate this. So you can attach it this way or this way. And yeah, it does have these sort of parts where it locks in, okay, and feels pretty sturdy, that's for sure. It's not gonna, it doesn't feel like it's gonna snap off. It has a durable kind of feel to it. And yeah, there's also a few other bits and pieces down at the base. You can see there is a tripod mount, okay, and it also comes with a clip here. So don't know whether you'd be attaching this to your bag or to a, just to your body or something like that, maybe to another object instead of using the magnetic base. So underneath this port cover here, there is a couple of ports. So you've got a USB-A connection there and also USB-C. So the USB-C is only used for charging the WL01. I did try to use a USB-C to C cable to charge my phone, and it would not charge. So yeah, if you're looking to charge another device, you need to use this USB-A port. On the back here, there are also 4 of these blue LEDs. So this is the battery indicator. They indicate 25% increments. So you basically just press that on button to illuminate them for a certain period of time. They do turn off, I think, after about 20 to 30 seconds. So here is a little close-up of the LEDs. And you've got this aspheric lens here on the front. And yeah, convex lens, and it's got these tricolor, basically it's a tricolor cob LED panel. So if you look very closely, there's 2 rings. So the center ring has the warmer LEDs there, and then the outer ring has the cooler LEDs. And right on this sort of silver section here on the outside, you can see these little bits here. These little cutouts here house all the red LEDs. The white LEDs are rated between 5,500 and 6,000 K. Warm LEDs in the center are between 2,600 to 3,000 K. And together, when you have them both activated at the same time, range between 3,800 and 4,200 K. That's where you get the 1,200 lumen rating when you've got them both activated at the same time. The red LEDs are basically between 620 to 625 nanometers according to the manual. Having tested all these LEDs, I do find that the main LEDs in the center, so basically the cool and the warm LEDs, are much brighter than the red ones. And I also found, strangely, that the warm LEDs also performed better than the cooler LEDs, so they produced more light. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick little demo of the UI. It's pretty simple, and you'd want this to be simple given that it is a work light slash floodlight. So basically, to turn on the light, you just press and hold that on switch, okay? Starts off always on the high mode and on the cool LEDs, okay? So in order to change to the warm mode, just press that power switch again. So you get these warm LEDs here. Switch again to activate the warm and the cool LEDs at the same time. Press once more to activate the red LEDs. And if you press another time, you get this SOS mode. There is also a secondary button here on the right-hand side that allows you to dim and step the light up. So as you can see, just pressing and holding. So you might not need too much light and you want to extend the battery life. This is a pretty good function. This works in all the modes except for the red modes. In order to turn the light off, all you have to do is just press and hold the on switch again. So I ran a bunch of ceiling bounce tests, and these ones actually ran a lot longer than my normal ceiling bounce tests. Not because I was so concerned with the lumen output, but more the sustained output. So you can see here I've run it on high with both the warm and cool LEDs activated at the same time. So 1,200 lumens, and you can see here you basically get between 90 to 100% output all the way to the 40-minute mark where I ended the test. I ran a second ceiling bounce test here on the cool mode alone, and you can see maintains 90 to 100% output all the way to the 25-minute mark where I ended the test. Ran a third ceiling bounce here with just the warm mode on, and you can see it's pretty much the same, 90 to 100% all the way to the 50-minute mark where I ended the test. I did run another test on the red mode alone, and you can see here the light maintains 90 to 100% output all the way to the 60-minute mark where I ended the test. I ran a bunch of tests also with my Opal Lightmaster Pro, and you can see here the throw figures were between 34 and 44 meters. 44 meters was achieved with the cool and warm mode activated at the same time. Interestingly, the warm mode did better than the cool mode, producing more lumens as well as another 6 meters of throw. And you can see also the red mode there got 4 meters of throw. It's the dimmest mode, and certainly it's not something that is going to produce a lot of throw, but it's good for short range use. Maybe you're in a tent, or maybe just need a little bit of light on your workbench. CRI was nothing special, so between 67 and 71. I really like that Astrolux have chosen to use this spheric lens, this convex style lens, because it creates an even and floody beam. And, you know, you do get artifacts sometimes when you are using, especially lights that have multiple LEDs in there. So, you know, this spheric lens just manages to really even out that beam. And you get decent range as well, which is surprising. The red LEDs do have some artifacts due to their positioning on the edges for some reason, but it still produces a nice floody beam. Some small considerations that you should be aware of. Do wish that the blue battery indicator lights would turn off after a set time when using the lights. So yeah, when you've got the light on, it always has them illuminated. It's not a deal breaker, but I do find that a bit annoying at times. And the battery also appears to be non-user replaceable. I do see that there's 4 screws, so you can, these sort of 4 screws here there, which you could probably undo and access the batteries in there if you really wanted to. There are apparently 21,700 cells inside. The magnets also could be a little stronger in my opinion. Maybe if they just added a couple more here on those sides, you know, I find that it's still completely fine just when you're using it on thicker metal. But if you're using it on thinner kinds of metal, sometimes it does slide down. I think a nice little addition as well would be some rubber bumpers, you know, on the edges of the light, just help to protect against drops. So overall, this is a surprisingly feature-packed work light that not only has warm and cool LED modes, but also has that red mode, which I love. It's perfect for those low light conditions where, you know, you just want to preserve your night vision. Maybe you're working in a small area and you don't need that, you know, that larger cob LED in the middle just blasting out all that light. So you can, of course, reduce that down, step that down to the lower modes as well. I really like the 9,000 milliamp hour battery pack that they've paired with this light. It's, you know, especially with these efficient cob LEDs there, it just makes for excellent sustained output and run times. You know, considering this price, it's probably one of the best value work lights I've seen out there. And this would make an excellent camping light too, especially with the power bank feature. So if you're interested, go ahead and check out the link in the description. I've got a special discount voucher that you can purchase directly from Astrolux. And if you have questions, let me know as well down in the comments. I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and click the like button. That's one of the few ways that YouTube recommends my videos out to more people. And if you want to keep up to date with the latest flashlight reviews and news, make sure you subscribe. All right, so this is the Astrolux WL01, and this is on the normal cool LED mode. And I'm going to be using pretty much the highest setting for this test. There's a bit of ambient light. The sun's just gone down about half an hour, 45 minutes ago, so, but definitely still need this light to see where I'm walking. Really like how smooth the beam is. There are some slight, there's like a weird sort of ring around the edge of the beam, but it doesn't affect the center of the beam at all. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. I can just change this over now to the warm light, and for some reason the warm light is, yeah, it's just brighter and kind of a bit more pleasant on the eyes as well. Decent amount of throw, considering that it's you know, it's not a dedicated throw or anything like that, but the aspheric lens does help a great deal. Just put it onto the red one now. Let's see what that looks like. Oops, there we go. And the red's still decent, but you're not going to get anywhere past maybe a couple of meters, maybe max, in terms of range. So yeah, I'd be using this, either the white or the yellow. Do you find the white, for some reason, I'm just able to identify colors better because the warm light is just too warm. And yeah, there's a big puddle down there, so I don't want to step in there. Okay. All right, so some longer range shots with the WL01. I'll go for a little walk. This is the cool beam. Surprisingly, it's able to reach all the way to the front of that sort of grassy area down there, just right where the grass finishes off, and you got that sort of bushes and stuff in the middle. And we'll swap over to the warm. Yeah, and the warm light does have a little bit more power to it. Very nice, kind of even beam. This is the warm plus cool. So pretty much all the cob LEDs activated, full blast. Pretty powerful. 1000 plus lumens. And as you can see, a really wide spread of light, maybe 150 degrees. There's the red, difficult to see, but maybe only a meter or two ahead of you. White, warm, and white plus warm.